Okay, I'm going to try to explain what Revelations 13, 14 through 18 means. So it goes in verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. Okay, now, so it appears that the beast is deceiving those that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, not the sight of the saints, in the sight of the beast. So Revelations 18:23 says, "For by her sorceries are the nations deceived." So borrowers are easily deceived, for one thing. Okay, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. That would be bringing idols to life, fake money, I believe, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, because the beast doesn't understand. The beast doesn't understand what's going on. They don't live within God's means of gold and silver. America had a constitution that said no state shall coin money on anything but gold and silver. Now we have a fiat currency money system controlled by the bankers. It's fake money. Okay. Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. Okay, you're a beast because you don't live within God's, within your means. In other words, you don't trust God for your means, but you borrow money. That's the beast. Isaiah 46 verse 6, Isaiah 46 1 through 7. That they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. It would appear to me that it means that if it wasn't for this fake money system, we would go broke. We wouldn't be able to survive because we ran out of money or gold and silver. But what did we do? We hired a goldsmith to make our gold into a god, which is fake money. Isaiah 46 verse 6. To understand the beast, you really got to understand Babylon, because Babylon rides the beast. The beast are borrowers. Habakkuk 2 6 through 8 says, "Will not your debtors arise? Will they not awake? And then you will be their victim." So then verse 15, and it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." So this beast system has power to give life unto the image. Okay, that's your capital letter name on the Social Security card that gives life to their idols. Because when you contract with it, you enter into the jurisdiction of Babylon. They take money out of your check for federal income tax. In other words, you're paying back loans that America took out from Babylon, from the banks and corporations. So America borrows money that was created by the Federal Reserve, and then our laborers give this money value through our federal income tax, through the image of the beast, because you're a beast. When you contract with the Social Security card, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So when the government, which is owned by bankers, speaks to you, they want to see the contract. your capital letter name. They cannot speak to truth. They cannot recognize the truth. They have to see a lie, which is the image that was created at your birth. Study the birth certificate. Figure out what it is, how it was created. So, then the verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand and in their foreheads. Now, if you don't have, he causes everybody to have an image, to have a social security card. Okay, now there is no law that says you have to have one. There's no law that says you have to have a birth certificate. The law says a certificate of birth for every live birth which occurs in this state shall be filed with the state registrar. It doesn't say you have to fill it out. That's how come verse 14, Revelations 13:14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So the beast is a system of bringing idols to life, the idols of Babylon. So you were deceived into this social security card, the birth certificate. Because there is no law that says you have to have a birth certificate. There's no law that says you have to have a social security card. You were deceived into it. And he did cause you, all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So as I've been running with this revelation of Babylon, I've been finding that they continue with their thinking. They don't want to understand what I'm saying, so they receive a mark, which is missing the mark. Okay, that is the mark. They're missing the mark. Look up sin in the Greek. It means missing the mark. So if you're missing the mark with God, which America missed the mark with God in their thinking, in their right hand, that's what you do. That's your main goal in life, is what your right hand does. That is a reflection of your life right there. This is what you do in life. In your right hand, you receive a mark. You miss the mark with your right hand. And in your forehead, you're thinking. You're missing the mark with your thinking because you don't know how it works. You're a beast. Anytime you sign anything that you don't understand, you're a beast, because I am sure that Jesus would not sign a social security card unless he knew what it was, because he is representing God. He is representing truth. He does not want to partake in a lie. So, which is the social security card? It's a fraud. I mean, study it. It's a fraud. Because we give up our rights in exchange for privileges. Because we're bankrupt. Okay, so the social security card, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich, poor, free, bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and their forehead. So by signing the social security card, you're missing the mark. That no man might buy or sell except he have the mark by the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So the number of his name is John 6 verse 6:6. It means, and they walked no more with him, because they did not want to understand. Those people in John 6 did not want to understand. Jesus said, unless you drink of my blood and eat of my flesh, you have no part in me. That's what America did. We fell away. We didn't want to suffer and live within our means, but we hired this goldsmith, Isaiah 46 verse 6, to make our gold into a god, which is fake paper money. And these are the miracles we make. We, along with Babylon, the banks and corporations, caused images to come to life, idols and images. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. If you don't understand what the Social Security card, how it was created, why it exists, you will not understand God's word. God's word is not something that just you have to understand the intricacies of the system before you can understand God's word. People just, you know, they're brainless. They think, oh, mark on their right hand and their forehead. Oh, so we're going to get a chip in our right hand and our forehead. They think it's something that's obvious. No, it's going to be something that is hard to understand. Someone who has wisdom, someone who has understanding. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. You know, many of those disciples in John chapter 6 were following Jesus. But then when Jesus told them something hard, they couldn't figure it out. That is the characteristic of the beast. Because they don't want to understand. Wisdom for understanding the hard sayings of the wise. Here is wisdom, let him who hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 666. That's the number of the man in John chapter 6. And they walked no more with him because he said something hard. You know, when I try to tell people what Babylon is and the mark of the beast, it's too hard for them to understand. So what do? They walk no more with him. Now, I could imagine those disciples were still following God, but they just didn't understand what Jesus was saying. They were like, oh man, this is kind of a hard saying. John 6 verse 60. They admitted it was a hard saying. They didn't have the wisdom.